Now, I'm going to drop some factoids on you guys. Do I need to do air quotes, or is that kind of stupid, right? I'm going to draw up some factoids on you guys. You guys remember Arsenio Hall? Who's old enough to remember Arsenio Hall back in the early 90s? Do you remember he had a segment called Things That Make You Go, Things that make you go, All right, so I have a few things that are going to make you go, And here is the first one. Did you know there is a Wuhan Institute of Virology? The Wuhan Institute of Virology is a research institute on virology. Virology means viruses, administered by the Chinese Academy of Sciences, located in Zhengjia District, Wuhan, Hubei. It opened mainland China's first biosafety level 4 laboratory. What's a biosafety level laboratory for? Is a set of biocontainment precautions required to isolate dangerous biological agents in an enclosed laboratory facility. The levels of containment range from the lowest biosafety level to the highest level, from 1 to 4. And this is the highest level. So what have we here? What have we here? We have the only level 4 biosafety lab in China. And again, what's level 4? What does level 4 indicate? Level 4 is the range, the highest end of the range of biosafety. These are containment precautions, right? So, interesting, huh? Isn't that interesting? And it just happens to be where this virus broke out. Like, what are the odds? What are the odds? A laboratory. Okay, a microbiology laboratory under the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Huh. Guess what? Another coincidence. Another coincidence. They were doing coronavirus research. So in 2005, a group including researchers from the Wuhan, we've heard of Wuhan, right? Institute of Virology published research into the origin of the SARS coronavirus, finding that China's horseshoe bats are natural reservoirs of SARS-like coronaviruses. Continuing this work over a period of years, researchers from the institute sampled thousands of horseshoe bats in locations across China, isolating over 300 bat coronavirus sequences. All right, okay, man, okay. So first of all, let's deal with the wet markets, right? Okay, so for 15 years, this lab, this institute, this government, highest safety level government, or highest authorized level government lab, is doing research into viruses found in bats. Okay, they're researching viruses that are found in bats. And they isolated over 300 bat coronaviruses. They've sequenced them, right? So if you have a government, like China's a dictatorship, okay? Let's all be clear about that. If they want to do something over there, they do it. If they want to stop something, they stop it, right? So for 15 years, you've had a lab in Wuhan, right? Sequencing coronaviruses in bats, sequencing 300. So why would you let people eat bats? If you have a government facility in a city where they're serving bats, bat fucking soup, right? Hey, can I get a bowl of soup? Oh, and do you mind if I have a dead bat in there as well? Okay, whatever, man. You do you. But I mean, they've isolated 300 coronavirus sequences in these bats, and they're still letting people eat them? Like, holy shit, I don't even really know where to go with this. Like, either they're criminally negligent by letting this practice continue, or there's something else going on. In 2015, the Institute published successful research on whether a bat coronavirus could be made to infect HeLa. What's HeLa? HeLa is an immortal cell line used in scientific research. It is the oldest and most commonly used human cell line. The line was derived from cervical cancer cells taken on February 8th, 1951, blah, 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 from a patient who died of cancer. Okay, so that's essentially, it's like an entry point, right? A team from the Institute engineered a hybrid virus. What's a hybrid virus? It's defined by the Center for Veterinary Biologics as a new hybrid microorganism created by joining nucleic acid fragments from two or more different microorganisms, in which each of at least two of the fragments contain essential genes necessary for replication. Okay, so they engineered a hybrid virus that can replicate, right? Combining a bat coronavirus with SARS, a virus that had been adapted to grow in mice and mimic human disease. The hybrid mimic human disease. Okay. So look, man, I mean, if you're looking at this and you're not thinking to yourself, all right, I think we get the picture here now, right? I think this is pretty clear. I don't know if this video is going to be censored, but I think this is pretty clear, right? So in the place where this global pandemic started, there just happens to be a government biological lab that specializes in creating viruses and studying viruses. Okay. And 5 years ago, they engineered a hybrid virus combining bat coronavirus with SARS. And they adapted it to grow in mice and mimic human disease. The hybrid virus was able to infect human cells. Okay. I think that says quite a bit, right? I think it says quite a bit. So during January and February 2020, the Institute was subject to further conspiracy theories. There we go with that term again, conspiracy theories. Like, excuse me, but what the fuck is a conspiracy here? I mean, this is laid out pretty clearly, right? This is laid out pretty clearly. And okay, maybe they didn't deliberately spread this, but it's quite possible. Isn't it quite possible that it escaped from there? And if it didn't escape or release or whatever from this lab, why are you letting people eat bats, for fuck's sakes? You know, you found 300 sequences of coronaviruses in bats, and you see somebody eating bat soup, and you're like, that's a shame. No, not good enough, man. As the virus spread worldwide, the Institute continued its investigation. The New York Times reported Xi Jinping at the Institute were first to identify, analyze, and name the genetic sequence of the novel coronavirus and upload it to a public database for scientists around the world to understand. Anyways, all right, let's get off that. Okay, so, all right, so let's examine where we are. Now, you got to remember, when we're piecing together things like this, you and I and most of the world, for that matter, we really don't know what's going on, right? How could we? We know what's going on in our own environment, and that's really the extent. Anything beyond that, and we're going on our own, you have guesses, which are a shot in the dark, and then speculation, which is a little more of an educated guess, right? But we're dependent on other people for information, of course. So what it's like going into a giant room, a giant funhouse that's dark, and every now and then the strobe light flashes on. And when you get that little flash of light, you have to pick out what you can pick out, and you have to compile as much information as you can from that little flash of light, right? And we're getting little flashes of light.